Thank you all for joining in this series of devotion where we celebrate Jesus Christ, who is the reason for the season. If we look at Hebrews chapter 2, verse 14 to 15, it is one of the great Advent passages because it shows so clearly the link between the beginning and the end of Jesus' life on earth, between his birth and his death on the cross. These two verses make it abundantly plain why Jesus came into the world, and that is to die. These verses would be great to use with non-Christian friends and family to explain our Christian worldview of Christmas step by step. It could go like this, one sentence at a time. Number 1. Since therefore the children share in flesh and blood. The word children comes from Hebrews chapter 2 verse 13 and means the spiritual children of Christ, who is the Messiah. These people are also God's children, if we read John chapter 1 verse 12. In other words, when God sent Christ, He did so purposefully to save His children. It is correct to say that God so loved the world that He gave Jesus, John chapter 3 verse 16. But it is also true that God was particularly gathering the children of God who are scattered abroad, John chapter 11 verse 52. God's plan was to give Christ to the world and save His children through Him. Please refer 1 Timothy 4:10. You can be adopted by God if you accept Christ. Number 2, He Himself, that is Jesus Himself, likewise partook of the same things, that is flesh and blood, like human beings. This means that Christ was already there before He was born. He was in the Spirit. He was the Word of all time. He was God and God Himself. But He took on flesh and blood and clothed His godliness with humanity. He was both God and man at the same time. In many ways, it's a big mystery, but it is central to our faith and to what the Bible says. Number 3, that through death. He became human so He could die. As God, He was perfect and could not die for sinners, but as a man, He could. His purpose was to die. So He had to be born as a human. He was destined to die. Christmas is all about Good Friday. This is what most people need to hear about what Christmas is all about in these present days. He might destroy the one who has the power of death, that is the devil. By dying, Christ took the devil's power away. How? By paying for all our mistakes. This means that Satan has no good reason to say bad things about us to God. Who shall bring any charge against God's elect? It is God who justifies. What exactly does it mean that God justifies? In light of what Jesus did for us by shedding His blood. The worst thing that Satan has against us is our own sin. If Jesus' death takes it away, the devil loses his most powerful weapon, the only thing that can kill us. He can't make a case for us to be put to death because the death of Jesus Christ has cleared us from all the problems and deliver all those who through fear of death were subject to lifelong slavery. So we no longer have to worry about dying. God has made us righteous. There is no way for Satan to change it. To top it all off, God intends for our ultimate safety to have an immediate impact on our daily life. He hopes that at the story's finale, freedom and safety will have been restored. Our greatest and final enemy is death. And if we can conquer that, we have nothing else to worry about. We can have freedom, free to rejoice and make the world know that this freedom is for everyone. Wow, what a wonderful Christmas gift God has given us. And now, from us to the rest of the world. Stay tuned. May God bless you all.